My kids empowered me to get out.
What's going on with remote learning and the midst of COVID?
Working with different elected officials, learning and understanding how to put the community first.
Hello and welcome to the show. We all have had made wishes for something we wanted, especially for our children. There are many children with disabilities and some children being diagnosed with a disease with no cure. We try to do what we can, but there is an organization that do make the children's wishes come true. They are the Make-A-Wish.
On my hard days, I usually don't think about it. I just try to get to the next day and hope that the next day will be better. My legs don't work like other people's, so I have to be in a wheelchair. I take the needed medicine for everything that's going on in my body. My wish is to redesign my bedroom. My wish is to remodel my backyard. It's like that warm feeling, almost like, something really good is gonna happen.
Wow, that's great. Our special guest today is Miss Valerie Nolasco. She's the manager of mission support of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Hello, Valerie, and welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. How is everyone?
Well, thank you. We're so glad that you took the time to come and join us to tell us about your great organization.
Absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became a part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation?
Sure. So my name is Valerie Nolasco. I am the manager of mission support, and I am a born and raised New Yorker. I am an aunt to 4 fabulous kids. I have a bachelor's in political science and master's in international relations. And I came about Make-A-Wish because my cousin, who was actually had volunteered for the organization, shared that, I should really look into the organization and pursue something that really I wanted to make an impact. And she knew I was searching for something that was impactful and provided hope. So I looked on the site, I applied, and I'm here and I'm loving it. It's been about a little over a year and a half. So exciting stuff at the organization is cooking even during a pandemic.
Wow.
Well, tell us some of the things about Make-A-Wish, the history, how they got started. Exactly just what do they do?
Okay. So at Make-A-Wish, our mission is to, together we create life-changing wishes for children with critical illnesses. The organization started in 1980 back in Phoenix, Arizona, and it started with a little boy named Christopher Gracious. He was 7 years old and was battling leukemia. And so his Phoenix community saw that he had wished to become a police officer. So they made him police officer for a day. And that sparked Make-A-Wish. And so our chapter started in 1983 in New York. We're the Metro and Western chapter. And we've granted over 14,000 wishes for children in the 5 boroughs in Nassau County. That's the metro section of it. And Western covers Buffalo and the Rochester area.
Wow, those are a lot of wishes.
Yeah, those are
I just can't imagine what young kids are really wishing for these days.
Yeah.
Do you find certain time of the year that there's more wishes than others, or has it been a time where a wish cannot have been granted?
So there are some busy times generally around when the child is experiencing like a spring break, or summertime is our really busy season, but we're really busy all year round. We are definitely grants. The reason we have the wishes is to give them that empowerment. And when we're looking at who we really are helping, it is the child, but essentially we transform everyone's life through a wish. And what I mean by that is that our community, our organization relies on donors, volunteers, and medical community. And they are the ones that really help us drive the organization. When we really think about it, Make-A-Wish, what it seems is that it's a big organization, which is well known, and we love that. But what people don't know is that there's 60 chapters throughout the whole nation of Make-A-Wish. So we work together, and it's very largely based on volunteers, and they help us grant those wishes. So we let the child, dream to the sky, and don't, let them be as creative as possible, because this is their moment really to shine. Part of it is giving them that empowerment and that power of choice. They certainly didn't get to choose their critical illness, but they do have the power of choosing their wish. So we don't like to set, such harsh conditions. We just want to make sure that they dream of something and giving them that power back.
So Valerie, take us through the steps. Like, okay, you say most of it's through volunteers, and then you'll have people once they come on board. Okay, now I'm interested in being a part of Make-A-Wish, so I come on board. I'm coming on as the grantor. Yeah. Okay, so then what happens after that? So now, as far as the kids that want the wishes, do they parents write you a letter and say, my child would like this to happen, or whatever like that, and then whoever the grantor is, like if I'm the grantor, then I work with that individual kid? I mean, what is the steps that takes place to make this happen?
So the very first step is referring the child. So a lot of our referrals, they are electronic. So what are the criteria for being eligible for a wish is that you're older than 2.5 and referred and younger than 18 at the time of referral. That you've also not been granted a wish by another wish granting organization, and that you've been diagnosed with a condition that is either progressive, degenerative, malignant, and places at the time, even though despite the time of, I'll backpedal a little bit. Hold on a second. So what I mean is that diagnosed with a critical illness, and it is a critical illness that is either progressive, degenerative, or malignant, despite adherence to a treatment plan, and is currently placing the child's life in jeopardy. So those are the conditions that the progressive, degenerative, malignant conditions. That is the first step in referring a child. And the people that can refer that are either the parents, legal guardian. It could also be a medical professional, and medical professional at any level. It could be a social worker, child life specialist, a nurse practitioner, doctor. And so as long as you have enough knowledge of the child's condition and are able to, and have the family's consent, you're able to refer. So once they enter the Make-A-Wish world, from there, it's a little bit of a process in the terms of how long we're able to grant the wish and the timeline of it. But you are assigned a child as a wish grantor. And from there, you interview the child. And what we try to do is we try to get at the heart of the wish. Essentially, is when you're interviewing as a wish grantor, you interview the child to get at the heart of the wish and see what it is that they truly want. We grant a variety of wishes, and the pandemic has not stopped us from granting wishes. We kept on going, and what we like to do is we like to conceptualize our wishes. So when a child, let's say you're interviewing for a child and they're wishing for companionship, that may look like a puppy wish. That may look like meeting their favorite celebrity. sometimes, since, as I mentioned, they didn't get to choose their illness, but they get to choose their wish. So maybe we're giving them the power of choice and providing them with a shopping spree. Hope and excitement, that could be an iPad, a gaming computer. So it's really endless what the child can ask for. We just try to get at the heart of it and interview and see what it is that they truly, truly want, because this is all for them.
I know sometimes, just want to ask real quick. I know sometimes a lot of wishes may be far-fetching out of one's control. So do the kids have an opportunity to at least choose more than one wish, and you can just kind of navigate what can be done?
So the child it's one wish, so that's why we try to get to the heart of it and make sure that that's something that they truly, truly want. And we try and we ask questions, and there's a training to narrow in on what the child would want. So they only get one wish, so that's why we should work together to narrow down exactly what it is that they want.
Okay.
So now, Valerie, we want to get to some of the wishes in a minute of some of the wishes that the kids are granted. But I also want to find out too. Now, besides being a grantor, what are some of the other areas in the Make-A-Wish that people can work with you on?
Yes, so there's so many ways to help us out. So you could become a wish consultant, and that is when you're using your expertise. Let's say it be interior design, it could be in construction, and essentially you work on us at a specific point in the wish to plan it and interact with the child. And it is a little bit like the wish mentor, but it's more in an area of expertise where we go for you for advice and guidance on a particular wish. We work in planning and coordinating it. Another way that you could assist us is if there's any medical professionals watching here tonight, please connect with me. We'd love to teach the team, your medical staff, on how to refer children so that they can enter Make-A-Wish. There's also you could become a monthly donor, and that would be super helpful because all funds go to granting a wish for a child. So, and it's a local, what people think, it's our local chapter. The money's coming to New York City, the 5 boroughs in Nassau County. So that would help us very, very much. We also have, if you're shopping, this month is our anniversary. So if you happen to be inside Macy's, you're able to make a donation on the Macy's website, or you could, in store purchases, you could round up your purchase, and that donation comes to your our local chapter, which helps a local child. So there's various ways, and we're also looking to get involved in the community. So please connect us to your community-based organizations. We're happy to work with them.
Okay, thank you. Now we're gonna take a quick break. No, we gotta finish this because we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Okay.
What's more dangerous? A man who isn't afraid of death, or one who's found everything to live for? I asked him if he was proud of me. He emphatically said yes, as he laid his pecan-colored head on my chest, and I went through my mind 1,000 times to figure out what that could possibly mean, and every single example ended in motivation for me. So you may not be afraid to die, but I'm more afraid to let them down. And I found something to live for, which is a dangerous motive forever fueled. See, your thoughts may be involuntary, but my actions are very calculated. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. My sons ain't raised by no coward, and they won't be one either. If this be the measure of a man, the yardstick gonna need way more meters. I take it too far, so they never come up short, because I found everything to live for.
Yes, we're back and we're talking with Miss Valerie from Make-A-Wish. Now, Valerie, now we want to get down to the real nitty-gritty about the kids and their wishes. Now, I do want to show just a short clip of Kobe. I know he's gone, and rest in peace to him. We loved him. But I just want to show this quick clip of Kobe granting a wish to a little girl.
Kobe Bryant is making his way to the court to meet a very special guest, 11-year-old Marina Pellicciari and her family, who have traveled from New Jersey.
All right, man. All right. Good to see you. Good to see you too. What's up, sweetheart? Good to see you. You look so well put together with your Laker uniform. You wear that jersey better than I do. I'm just saying. It was great meeting Marina. She has so much passion for the game, so much inner determination.
Yes, this little girl has cerebral palsy, and she was just so excited when she saw him.
Yes.
You know, when they flew the family. I mean, this is just wonderful when the kids get a chance to really meet a celebrity. I know all the wishes is not no, big time celebrity. Some of the wishes are just, maybe what we think is small, they don't think is small. So, like some of the other wishes that kids have been granted, like on a smaller scale. What are some of those wishes?
Well, all wishes, even though, as you mentioned, it's not a small scale, it's actually, they're all just as creative and just as beautiful. So what it is that, as you saw in the video, you saw that smile, you saw that reaction. That right there is the power of a wish. We strive to transform lives through our wishes. And that was, meeting Kobe was at the heart of her wish. And so we've seen recently, as I mentioned, those wishes for companionship. We've seen an absolute uptick in puppy wishes. And that is something that if the child is striving for that companionship and being, these are times that where the pandemic, we felt a lot of isolation. And that's something not new for our children who are immunocompromised. This has been their life. So if we could offer that hope for them and something to carry them through treatment, and at the end of it all, deliver that puppy or deliver that PS5 for them to connect, that is something that we look for. That smile, we get it, whether it was Kobe, whether it was a PS5, whether it was a puppy. That smile does not change across the board because the kids just light up no matter the wish. And it goes back to giving them back that power. That's exactly what it's all about, giving them that, this is what I want, and they get it. They get it.
Wow, that is so great. The interesting thing is that people, we're creatures of habit, right? We're always thinking about what we can do, what we're accomplishing, how we being successful, but they don't understand it to take the minute, the effort to just smile or give something back. Like you said, no matter how small it is, it has so much value to it. And people just really can't appreciate that. So I just wanted to add that to that, because this is good work that you're doing and doing for the kids. And it's like a lot of people may not even know about Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
Foundation.
Okay, we have a question from the viewer. Is there a website that they can come to, which we'll put all that up in the show anyway, but you can tell them now if they're interested in becoming a volunteer.
Yeah. So all the information is on our website. It's wish.org/New York. And that will come into the Metro New York chapter, which services the 5 boroughs in Nassau County.
Mm-hmm. So now getting back to the wishes, because I wish I could get some of these wishes as well, but
awesome. Lottie needs an adult wish. She needs an adult wish.
No, I really do. Blessed with health, so that you have your wish. That's it right there.
Yes, absolutely.
Now another one of the we'll come back to the other wishes is also too, but there was another clip that I wanted to show with Oprah, that when she was granting a wish to a young lady that wanted to interview her, that I thought was really so cute too. Let's look at Oprah.
So what keeps you going? What gives you courage? And why did you want to talk to me? Because you're the courageous one. I should be interviewing you.
This is an intense experience.
Oh, there you are.
Hey.
The horse got fast.
You find it. Here I am. I'm in. Hi, Jaden.
Am I here? Am I on screen? Oh, nice.
My scene.
35 days. Grant! Yeah! I'm talking to you! Woohoo!
Gerald, what's up, buddy? This is Roman Reigns. Just stopping by, man, to give you some love.
I have love.
Yes.
People care for me, care about me, always checking up on me.
That is the world of difference, isn't it?
Yeah, you see, both are so important, whether it's big, small, or whatever. Because I was just even on the other video, we was listening to the young lady that said that she wanted to get her backyard remodeled.
Yeah.
I mean, in cases like that, how does that work? So, do you connect with a landscaper or someone that does that type of work, and they agree to come in and do it?
So we connect with local vendors, and we do work with them to make that a reality for them. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, another thing I want to know. If I become a grantor, not if I'm becoming a grantor, and this kid wants to have a big wish, like really meeting a big celebrity like Oprah or somebody, do I get to go with the kid as a grantor, or you're not allowed to go?
So on the celebrity wishes, what has to happen is that it's coordinated with national. And their team handles the connection and coordinating of that meeting. So there is a possibility that you may not be on the wish, but it is something that is handled. We work closely with our national office, the corporate relations team, to kind of make that wish possible for the child. So it's something that you may or may not be part of the wish experience, but just know that you played a huge part in making that connection happen, and you did help, and you did make an impact.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Listen, I was waiting to see what kind of wish, listen, we're waiting. How long is the process? What is the process to become a grantor?
So the grantor at the moment, it is something that it would take, there is a mandatory training and we have to do all that. So it is a little bit of a process, a little bit of a wait time on that. But we do have the other roles, which is like the wish consultant, and we're always seeking bilingual volunteers. We want to make sure that we are always equitable across the board with our children. So we want our children to feel comfortable with volunteers that understand their culture, that know their language, that look like them. So we've been working on that for years already, and we've improved that so much. And so we're always seeking bilingual volunteers. So that is where the current needs are. And so I welcome all bilingual volunteers. Come my way. We got to get these kids' wishes granted.
So what you were saying, Valerie, is that you try to match the kids and the family up with a volunteer that that they feel comfortable with. I mean, is the person interviewed? Do they have an interview first before they really start working with that child and the family?
No,
how you matching them up? Like I know you said that you're trying to match them with people with their own background and culture and things.
So we don't match them depending on background. All our volunteers, they are extraordinary. We have over 700 wish granters, and they're all extraordinary, and they go above and beyond for our kids. So it's just sometimes we do get wishes where the child, the family doesn't speak the language. And so then it's easy. We do provide translation services for our families and our volunteers so they can carry out the wish. But sometimes there is a need in having bilingual volunteers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know you mentioned earlier that it would be good if health professionals could reach out to the organization. Is there any way that the organization can collaborate with these large entities like the hospitals, medical schools, to let them know that it's available and they would like recommendations?
Oh, for sure. We have, so what we've started is information sessions. So they're 30-minute information sessions where they're virtual, of course, and we connect with the medical professionals and we go over how to refer a child, what the wish journey is, and everything in between. So we most definitely welcome that relationship. Our medical partners are really one of our strongest partners, and they help us so immensely. And we just love to grow that as well.
So Valerie, what other type? Unless you said this already, I might have missed it, but I don't remember. What other types of organizations do you need to partner with that could be beneficial to Make-A-Wish?
Any community-based organizations that service the community in the age ranges of 2.5 and under 18 years old. Any of those organizations would be helpful.
Mm-hmm. And like, okay, so like, what would you want those organizations to do? Like, when you partner with them, what are you looking for from that organization?
So, in the same sense that we provide the info sessions for the medical partners, we also do have them as community partners. We do have part of my role is community outreach and informing the community of what we do and the wishes we grant, and informing them of that. So what we do is we would honestly, like on a resource night, we'd be happy to present just to educate them. It could be possible that the community organizers themselves aren't able to refer a child, but at least they have the knowledge and they know the community enough to say, hey, maybe so-and-so's family could use this Make-A-Wish and point them in our direction or connect us. So even though they may not themselves be able to make the referral, they're at least able to share that information and pass that along, because our goal is to reach each eligible child, and working with our communities is a way of making that happen.
Okay, so just for clarification, yes. I mean, I'm just trying to make sure I'm clearing everything in case somebody else might be like me. I'm kindergarten. You have to break it down to me. I'm like in kindergarten. You're saying more so that you want the organizations to refer children to you. So it can be an organization, or it can just be maybe someone that has found out information about you, that they know of a kid, or they may have a kid of their own, that they can reach out, to the Make-A-Wish.
So if they service the population, of course they can know about it. Just have that information on hand, because you never know which community member may need it. And just educating them and building that relationship with them is something that we strive for.
Okay. All right. Well, Valerie, thank you so much for coming for, the show. We'll come to the end of this part of our show. We do an after show. So if people want to hang around for the after show with Valerie, you can. But we want to thank you for coming and making us aware of Make-A-Wish. So at least this way now we have a better understanding, and whomever is watching has a better understanding of what Make-A-Wish, Foundation is. We've heard about Make-A-Wish, but we really didn't know everything about what Make-A-Wish is about. So this has been very informative. And like, if we know of any kids, I mean, I have, as I'm talking to you, I have kids in mind that has, some disabilities that I know would really enjoy, being a part of something like this organization. Yeah. So, so now we know what we have to do. So we want to thank you, so much for taking the time to come on and, and talk to us about the foundation. And Vanessa and I are definitely on board. So, we want to be mentors, because I definitely go get my wish in there.
Yes. Actually, I think we already started the first phase.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to add a little memo in there. And I know we're very well known. I just want to add in the disclaimer. We're not a last wish organization. So just want to make sure that everyone knows who's referring a child. It doesn't mean that the child is their last wish. We are here to create hope and make life-changing wishes to children with critical illnesses. Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to working with both of you and the community. If anyone has questions, please feel free to reach out. I am more than happy to help.
Yes. Well, thank you again. And thank everyone for watching. And make sure you reach out to Make-A-Wish. This is the end of this part. And remember, as always, keep watching us every Saturday at 5:30 on Bridge in Manhattan Neighborhood Network. So if you want to stick around for the after show, you can. So thank you for joining us today. See you, Vanessa. And then we'll see you next time. Take care.
Today's show is sponsored by Abu's Bakery. If you have a sweet tooth, stop by Abu's Bakery for some delicious cakes and pies. It's
It's Shannon. It's Shannon. It's Shannon. It's Shannon. It's Shannon. Keeping it real. It's Shannon. It's Shannon. It's Shannon.
Hi, we're back for our after show. Thank you, Valerie, for sticking around. In the first part of the show, we talked about the Make-A-Wish Foundation and kids getting wishes. And, it's like, when you think about it now, we have so many kids out there that may have disabilities and handicaps, and they just wish for what other kids have and they don't have. So I just think this organization, when it started, really is just making, like, dreams come true. I mean, it's just like when we want something to happen and it doesn't happen, and then when it happened, how excited we are. So, like you said, and I'm like that too. I just like to do things to see someone smile or have a, happy ending. And so I think an organization like this is such a wonderful thing to have around, because I think it does more than just making children's wishes come true. I think it also helps the family as well.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It transforms everyone involved, the family, the community, the medical professional who referred the child. It definitely touches upon everyone. And essentially, it's all about the way, it's all about the child. But you can tell, we've had feedback from medical professionals saying that wish really made an impact on the child. It carried them through treatment, and it gave them something to look forward to. And that's something that honestly, it keeps us going. And that's why we want to reach each eligible child, because every child should feel that way. And so it's something that, we really work towards that.
Wow. I mean, that's good. A lot of kids, I mean, how do you begin to just grant a wish? It's like, wow, the kids are so resilient, right? They have this imagination. It's so big and wide. Like, where did you get that from? How do you think about that? And it's like they have so much strength. It's like, wow, I just really can't wait to get on board to see what we bring to the table and how we can contribute. Bringing wishes to kids in need, and I'm excited, and I just can't wait to get started.
Oh, thank you. We're excited to have you. It's something that, and I wanted to mention earlier, we do not ask immigration status. We do not ask any income questions. So we do it all fair across the board. So no immigration questions are asked at any point in the process. And we do not ask our families, what is your income? That is not our concern. Our concern is to grant that wish for the child.
Now, Valerie, do y'all have like any type of, I know you have some programs on the side, if you can speak on some of the programs you have on the side. And also too, do you have like any events like during the year, for people to attend, as part of helping, to raise money for the foundation as well?
So we do have different events, different partnerships. As I mentioned earlier, we have that Macy's making a donation. There's also community based fundraising, which I'm happy to connect whoever's interested with our development team, and they could get them all the tools and resources that they need to create their own fundraising page. We also have, due to the pandemic, there have been some changes, but we also have turned things virtual. So we've had different wine tastings. There's been a lot of Zoom cooking and things like that. So we've also tried to maintain on the virtual spin of things, despite what's going on.
What you mean when you say virtual cooking, like cooking shows? Actual cooking show? What do you mean?
On Zoom, Lottie, when they call you, when they look for you.
No. That's what you were talking about on the Zoom, the cooking show.
I know, no, on Zoom we have, there is it's in the fundraising spectrum of there's a fee associated to joining the cooking class, but it's all the funds go to making towards our wishes. So it is something that you're able to participate in, and I could definitely share that information so that it could be shared on future shows if you'd like.
Oh no, share, yes, please, please do that. Now, before you had said there's different chapters, right? There's different chapters of Make a Wish.
Yeah.
So you all sort of kind of work together in a sense. So how do you all work together? That you come together? Is this on like granting a wish, or is this on doing an event, or how do you work together with each other?
So we have 60 chapters across the nation, and each chapter is independent of its own. But we still carry through the same criteria across the board for all chapters, just to maintain that equitable stance. And so we do have, we learn from each other best practices, what works in your area, and ways that we can improve. So we do collaborate. One of the ways that another chapter comes into our metro area is if a child wishes to come to New York. And that's Wish Assist, and where we help we coordinate with the chapters to plan that wish for the child to come and have a New York experience. And things like, visiting the Empire State Building, anything that is basically, you can't take the Empire State Building to Minnesota or anything like that. They would come here and experience that wish because that was their wish.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we collaborate.
Okay, then. See, this is what I'm saying. See, I didn't realize that, because in my head I'm thinking, well, we're in New York, so it's just only going to be in New York. But if we have a child in New York that wanted to go to California for some reason to see, Disneyland or whatever out in California, then that chapter in California would pick up on that wish you're saying.
We would coordinate. So if we wanted to see the Golden State Bridge, that's where we would collaborate with them. If not, we would plan the trip independently, just because it's different things that they're going to be doing. Disneyland, like Disneyland. But I just wanted to note that travel wishes is something right now that we're not able to do because of the pandemic. So that's why we're getting kind of creative with our wishes and seeing what the heart of the wish is. And so we aren't able to move ahead with the travel, most likely until the end of, at least until January 2022. It's just not just because safety is a top priority for our kids and our families. And so no large gatherings or theme parks and things like that. But in a pre-COVID and hopefully safe post-COVID world, it would be something where the child could travel, and we would coordinate that travel.
So Valerie, with that said, prior to COVID, was there any wish that has been international?
Oh yeah.
Yes, yeah. We've had plenty. We've had plenty of international travel before. We've name it that the child has probably been there, but we have had children travel internationally for their wishes. Yes.
Where?
Some examples. We've had the Bahamas. We've had Italy. We've had the Dominican.
Wow, this child got a wish to go to Italy and what?
Yeah.
Wait. Well, so when they go internationally, how long is that wish for?
I have to get back to you on the exact time frame, just because that's just a different purview. But it's about, I want to say 7 days, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Stay away from the travel, just because it's something that we can't do at the moment. It's right. We encourage them to explore other wishes. Something that could happen.
No. We understand that. Look, Valerie, we know there's a pandemic going on right now. We understand that, but we talking about before there was a pandemic.
Exactly.
They could go on an international trip. This is what I'm saying. Like, oh my God, that is wonderful.
If
that was that kid is.
I'm sorry.
I said, you just imagine a kid that could go on an international trip like that. I mean, that's really nice.
If it was a part of their wish, then that's what we pursue.
So the bottom line is, we know the pandemic, we're talking as if there was no pandemic. So the bottom line is that the child can ask for any wish that's not beyond what you can do. You can ask for anything,
You can
basically.
yes, you can ask for anything. We do have certain parameters around our wishes, but for the most part, we let the child be as creative as possible. Yes.
You see, Lottie? So when we went to Italy, we should have had a wish.
This is what I'm saying. I mean, I can't believe this. This is like so. I mean, this is really great. This is really great. This foundation is really great. Make a Wish. I mean, I didn't even know it was this great that we that go on international trips and stuff like that. I thought it was just like basic. I thought it was like just basic trips here, you know, in New York, or you know, you might meet somebody or whatever, or something like that. I didn't actually think that they would send the kid. I mean, that's really wonderful. I mean, is it like anything made? I'm trying to say it like, is there anything special? Would that be some special child that may don't have like long to live or something like that would get granted an international trip, or it doesn't matter if the kids say I want to go on an international trip, it's okay?
So we're always in touch with the child's medical team. So we're constantly in communication, and we have to deem whether the wish is safe. If the child is medically fragile to travel, then that's something that we would definitely consult with the medical team. And we also have a team of doctors in our medical advisory council where we give them also a second opinion and say, hey, is this okay? You know, maybe there's some doubts on whether the child, you know, if they would be comfortable, because the point of the wish is for them to be happy, something to create a long lasting memory and that impact. And we certainly want to keep them safe on a trip and on any wish experience. So if it's something that's going to jeopardize their safety, decrease that impact and that happiness, then it's something that we ask that they reconsider, because part of it is to make it a happy, memorable, and positive experience for them. So if they're medically fragile, it's something that we really have to check on and make sure, because safety is number one for us.
Absolutely.
Well, look, we have learned so much about this organization tonight, but before we leave, I just want to make sure, did we miss anything? Is there anything else you would like to add that we should know that we didn't ask?
Let me see. You know, as I mentioned, we're the Metro New York chapter, 5 boroughs in Nassau County. Everyone knows Make-A-Wish, but this is your local chapter. So every dollar that is donated to the organization goes to Metro NY Kids. And so it's something that we do work with local vendors, small businesses. We're all about the community. So it's something that, even though Make-A-Wish, you know, it's known in California, Ohio, everywhere, you do have a New York chapter, and we do work locally with our children. So it's something that whoever wants to get involved, let me know.
Yeah. Well, listen, this has been great. And, you know, if you're listening, you have been listening, you know, contact Make-A-Wish, get involved, volunteer. Hey, we might even get out wishing there along with the kids. You never know. So, hey, we have to get in there.
But you know, we're gonna have a problem with Lottie.
Lottie and I'm gonna have to be her wish partner if she's gonna get away. She's gonna wish for Oprah wish, and I'm gonna be like, "Come on, Lottie."
Look, if I was the grantor and go over the kid with Oprah, when I got to see Oprah, I'd be like, Oprah, when are you gonna do the interview with me?
Well, Lottie, before you close, we have a question. Is there a New Jersey chapter?
Yes, there is. So there is a New Jersey chapter. There is a way that I could possibly put in how to find your local chapter in the link inside the chat. That way we could share with them where they could look for their local chapter. But there is a New Jersey chapter that we also work with too.
Or you can email me and I'll send you the New Jersey chapter, you know, organization information. You can always email me and I'll send you that information that you need. But there's probably a chapter in most of the states, right?
Yes.
In most of the states,
Yeah, in most of the states. They do wish.org and pop in their zip code and they go to their local chapter.
Okay, good. So thank you again. And like I said, if you're watching, please get involved. If you don't have the time to be a volunteer, look, send them that money. Send them that money because we need that money for these children. We need this money for these children because we want to make these children happy. We want them to have, they might can't live the life that they want, but at least we can make them happy during a time of their illness that they're going through and anything, like that. So let's do what we can do. We can't volunteer, because any amount, I'm sure they're going to take any amount from $10 on up, to donate to the foundation. Is going to be a really big help. So thank you so much again, Valerie, for taking the time to come on. And I'm just excited now more to get involved in something like this, because I worked with children for years. I worked at the Department of Education. So I've been working for kids for a long time. And I've always enjoyed working with kids and stuff like that. So this would be something right down my alley. Yes, I would. Yeah. So thank you again. And don't worry, Miss Vanessa be right there. Dr. Vanessa be right there too.
Yeah.
And if she can't volunteer, she got money. She got money. She can send her money.
I'm volunteering.
She got money, Valerie.
Thank you so much for allowing me to spread the word.
Yes. Thank you again, and remember to follow us on Facebook and YouTube, and remember you can watch us on Brick every Saturday at 5:30 and Manhattan Neighborhood Network at 2:30. Catch us every Tuesday night, 8:00 p.m. All right, take care. We'll see you next time.